No, this came out 2 days ago, but I have been without my PC for those 2 days, so now it is finally time for the the fourth build of Arches Fuckers. It's here. It's been 3 months since the last one, and I am fucking hyped. I know you guys probably are too. So let's get into this video. Oh, right. This is where we last left off. Okay. Great. If you don't know what I'm talking about, um, basically what happened in the last update and where he left off was Cam went into the hotel room after he saw the raincoat monster, and then Dev came back to look for him after Duke ruined their car's engine so they can no longer get out through the car. So now I'm gonna try and remember this now. Where's the volume at? Oh. Let's do this. Oh shit! I'm already getting goosebumps now. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just giddy as all hell right now. I have been waiting for this for 3 months. Despite having seen this monster in some form or another for over 15 years now, Cameron realizes he never really tried to move towards it. In the beginning, he tried to run away, of course, but it ended up following him. It never moved when he was looking at it, but the second he looked away and back again, it would reappear closer, usually at 20 to 30-foot distance. But, okay, so it's kind of like a weeping angel, but not really. When he learned to ignore it, it just sort of blended into the background, and he almost stopped noticing it. Well, yeah, that's kind of what you can do when you have hallucinations. I've heard you just ignore them and they go away, which is what this thing is. It's a hallucination, not a psychic thing. You're not a psychic. As Cameron squeezes through the boards covering the window, he's only a few feet away from the thing. Okay. You should not be doing this. He realizes that if he makes contact with it, that if it's solid, then he won't know what to think. He never even considered it might be real. But now, as those unnatural long claws dangle from the sleeves of the raincoat, Cameron starts to worry. As he As he moves those last few feet, though, Raincoat Monster starts to dissolve into the dim lighting of the room and the coyotes inside. It happens in a way that makes Cameron think of Mirage. But the creature is still here now. This creature is still here now across the room against the wall. Its ever-present deranged grin plastered to its dark-furred face. Don't show us, please. Please don't. I should have checked the sprites. I should have checked. I did though. There's no Raincoat Monster file for it. It's just Cameron, Devin, Arturo, and Duke. Those are the only four in there. So, that means there's no new characters though. So I'm fine with that. Whatever. Cameron moves towards it again, slowly this time. The creature still seemingly frozen, but in a way a real person would try to appear frozen. This creature is almost like an imitation of the one he's gotten to know so well, the one that almost became a companion of sorts in his childhood. Okay, so you're telling me that you had so what you're saying is that this thing wasn't actually part of your drug crap? It was there with imaginary friend, kind of? I mean, I'm guessing, and then the drugs only made it worse because that's what they fucking do. They make your brain fuck up. And now you're an echo, and obviously we know that the hum makes it so that your darkest aspects come out in full force, and it also tries to scare you in a way that's personal to you. Obviously, that's just the way this thing works now. It's always worked that way. Um, enough blathering on. About halfway across the dark, cluttered motel room, Raincoat Monster bends sideways, almost like it's going to do a cartwheel toward the bathroom. Oh no. Don't go in the bathroom. We know what happens in bathrooms in this universe. I'm sorry, but just the way that they're like naming this thing Raincoat Monster, I immediately think it's a stand. I'm sorry, JoJo and the Mind Stone Ocean came out this month. Yeah, I stayed up all night, watched the entire thing from 3 to 7. It was fucking awesome. I need to drink some water though. Alright, yeah, it just Raincoat Monster Go or something. That's not a stanza, but whatever. Its heavily clawed hands don't move though, and instead it just keeps bending like a bridge, like an arch. Yeah, the symbolism of the title is not lost in me, game. I get it. He's scared of arches because his mother kept referencing them in the, I'm guessing, months leading up to her death. I get it, game. I get it. I get it, okay. I don't need you to psychologically torment the characters with, I mean, it's going to happen, it's Echo. And then it slips into the darkness of the bathroom. Cameron stares, the feeling of unease. You shouldn't have capitalized that, but whatever. The feeling of unease growing. Of course, shit like this always makes him feel uneasy. Makes him feel fucking crazy. But what just happened now? It felt deliberate, like he's being toyed with somehow. Raincoat Monster had toyed with him plenty of times before, especially the first time he saw it. It was his own mind doing it after all. But what makes him feel nervous now is that it seems like there's something else behind it. Almost like whatever's behind his first vision in the other motel room is behind this as well. So we should leave, right? Yes! Whatever that is doesn't seem to have very good intentions. Then get the fuck out. All it seems to want to do is fuck with it. That's what the fucking Echo entity does. It fucks with you, makes you scared. Okay? It wants to fucking ruin your life because that's what it does. It wants to toy with you. It's the same thing that hijacked his first vision, and it could look like anything. Disguised itself as Dev and said awful things to him. Disguised itself. Was that even a disguise? Is it possible Devin somehow made that call? No! That would be the most plausible explanation aside from malicious ghosts being real, something he never believed in until now. He trusts Dev, though. Cameron looks at the boarded window. Why would Artie and Devin abandon him like this? Is this part of Devin's investigation still? Is this a setup of some kind, like a test? Cameron continued to just stand in the middle of the motel room, staring around himself. Okay, so he doesn't know, but we do. The reason they went out, they left him is because Duke was messing with their car, so Artie ran away to stop Duke from wrecking the car. But then Dev also went over, and all that other shit happened. But this isn't right. He's not making sense. These thoughts don't make sense, but there are some connections, and you can't deny that something about the whole situation is off. The voices, the whispering, it continues to ebb and flow, and there's a slight electronic quality to it. It's not impossible that someone could have planted a speaker in this room to make him think he's hearing the voices of ghosts. After all, Devin had been so adamant that he not come back to the hotel with him to gather his equipment. That would have been the perfect opportunity. Oh. Okay. I don't like how I'm watching this fucking relationship fall apart. I fucking hate this. He tries to listen to them, but they blend together and mumble quietly and he can't make anything out. If this is a setup, then Raincoat Monster could be a real person. Someone in a costume, or... Oh, fuck this. I'm turning the volume down. You guys will still hear it because I've done this before, but nope. Fuck that. Something is wrong. Suddenly, thinking itself is becoming difficult. Still, I have to get the fuck out. But at the same time, things are suddenly making some sort of sense. This is some kind of sick joke that can explain a lot. A distant chuckle breaks through the hushed whispers. It sounds kind of like Devon. You know what? Personally, I don't think TJ's voice suits Cam that well, so I'm just gonna do my own voice for him. It's gonna be fucking weird having the narrator and whatever. Devon? Karen points his ears toward the bathroom. Artie, guys, you can't really be doing this to me, right? His voice is weak, unsure, and afraid. Something creaks to his left, and the coyote jumps, staring wide-eyed. Guys! In the back of his mind, Cameron knows whatever this is, whatever's going on inside or outside his mind is not good. He needs to get out. Suddenly, something starts pulling at the boards of the window. Cameron gasps, stumbling back, an explosion of fear taking over in a way that he's never experienced before. Cameron, you're in there, right? You're okay? Looks like Devon, but the coyote's moving for the bathroom because he's not completely sure. And even if it is Dev... No... Oh, don't tell me we're in the same bathroom that Chase was in. And TJ's route, towards the end. Not that it would make a difference, I mean it was just the Echo entity fucking with Chase in a way that would fuck with him. Fuck this shit. Karen pulls the door to the bathroom closed and fumbles with the knob until he finds a push lock that somehow still works. Cameron! Honey, are you in there? Cameron keeps quiet, pushing his paws to his muzzle, suppressing his instinctual urge to respond. Cameron! Cameron listens to the bear's heavy footsteps on the ruined floor. The door in the bathroom vibrates violently. Cameron yelps. Stop! Stop! I'm sorry. I just need to figure things out right now. It's a pause. It seems to go on for a very, very long time. What? Evan's voice is equal parts confused and concerned. Baby, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What happened? I don't know. Why did you guys leave me? Leave you? I'm right here. I looked up the road and you were just gone. Oh, Cameron, something happened. It's a little complicated, but I can tell you about it on the way out. I'm sorry I left when I said I'd watch you, but we need to go right now. Something happened. It's a little complicated. Cameron, please open the door. Dev lets out a nervous laugh. You're freaking me the fuck out right now, honey. That only puts Cameron more on edge that Devon thinks he's the one that's acting strange. You're freaking me the fuck out. Why did you even bring me here? Is Artie there too? Another long, horrible pause. Dev talks again. His tone is completely changed, like he's being very careful with his words. Cameron is crazy. Honey, can you tell me what's wrong? Did something happen? You tell me, Devon. Really starting to worry me, baby. His voice cracks. Cameron doesn't know what to say. He doesn't have to think of what to say because at that point, something rakes painfully down his back. It's like a giant set of claws. And then Cameron gasps, then screams, and another set of claws grip over the top of his head. He completely forgotten about Raincoat Monster, but even if he remembered, he never thought it could touch him. Cameron, open the door! Open! God damn it, stand back, Cam! The air seems to explode as the flimsy motel bathroom door splinters with ease, Dev having kicked it in. Some life in the bathroom now. Cameron sees that he's fighting with nothing. Thought it had to be Artie. Suddenly the bear is grabbing him, trying to hold him or pin him. Cameron just struggles, trying to pull away. Oh my god. Okay, really good art, but I don't like the scenario here. Cameron, what happened? Please calm down. Just let me go. Cameron is crying now. It's making him gasp for air. Let's breathe, Cam. No, stop doing this to me. Just let me go. Doing what to you? What happened? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Cameron's strong has become more wild, kicking out and fighting with Dev's much stronger grip. What the fuck? Dev seems to say to himself almost in a whisper as if unable to believe what's happening. Cameron isn't able to either. None of this is real, is it? Huh? Did you set this up to believe or something? What? How would I do that? Speakers, costumes, how? You're hurting me. Devin lets Cameron go finally, though he tries to hold on to him to make him look at the bear. Cameron takes the opportunity to escape, running right for the window, much easier to get through after Dev's entry. Cameron! I'm sorry, I just need to think. Cameron can hear Devin crying now, but he can't stop. He needs to get out, he needs to get away. He falls clumsily through the window, and as he stands up, he gasps. He comes face to face with Artie. Suddenly he notices how similar the color of his fur is to Raincoat Monster. Whoa, dude, you okay? What's going on? I can hear you guys yelling all the way. Artie trails off as Cameron backs away from the cat, keeping him in view until he can run away, up the road, to somewhere that's not here. Fucking hell. Yeah. A lot to unpack there, that's for fucking sure. Wow. Fuck. Dev sobs. He fumbles to get out the window, wondering if he's dreaming. This can't be happening. Looks around the parking lot, and all he sees is Artie. Where did he go? Artie points wordlessly, and Devin jogs up the length of the parking lot to look around the motel. Cameron is nowhere in sight. Devin stares for a while, hoping to see Cameron pop out from behind one of the dilapidated structures, but he doesn't. Devin, what happened? Something's wrong with Cameron. I know, he looked totally freaked out. Did that meth head get to him too or something? No, I don't know, he's not making sense. He's not thinking right. What do you mean? Devin takes a deep, shuddering breath, still staring, realizing Cam might have already made it to the dirt road off Main Street. Devin rubs his face vigorously with both paws. He said something about us setting him up. Setting him up? For what? I don't know. It's like he's not in his right state of mind or something. And stops himself from saying completely lost it because that just sounds wrong. Seeing no sign of Cameron, Devin feels panic bloom in his chest. But if Cameron's so far gone that he's gone running off into the desert, he would die. Shit, are you sure you ran this way? Dev starts walking quickly up the road, looking at each abandoned structure, scanning the desert landscape all the while. His panic has settled into a dull, persistent feeling of dread, and his crying is mostly under control, just sniffling every now and then. Artie follows behind him. Yeah, positive, man. He was running, though. Oh, shit. Hey, he just looked really emotional. Doesn't he have panic attacks? Yeah, that wasn't a panic attack. Something else is going on. Has he done this before? No. Isn't he on medication? No, man, he's not on medication. But wasn't he? Dude, this isn't helping anything right now. Sorry, it's just that I remember him telling me it was an antipsychotic back in college. Devin's blood runs cold. I think it was like antidepressants or something. Why would he even tell you? Cameron! Dev's voice echoes hollowly up the street unanswered. He was on both, I'm pretty sure. He was talking to Maria about it since she'd been on a hunch for that bunch of them for bipolar disorder. I think he was just looking for advice on how to deal with the side effects, and I'm a psych major, so there's that. Are you? Cameron! Uh, duh, I'm a failed STEM major. Behavioral sciences is the next step. Despite that being something Artie might normally say, it sounds forced, like he's trying to keep the mood light. All Devin can think about right now is how he couldn't even bother to know what medications his boyfriend was taking and why. He just knew they made him feel like shit. So when Cameron said that he just wanted to stop whatever it was he was taking, Devin encouraged him, and Cameron seemed happier after that. Anyway, I'm not saying that he's like schizophrenic. Antipsychotics can be combined with antidepressants for just plain old depression sometimes. I think he's just panicking a little. I probably would too if I went to the motel room. No. Cameron was panicking, sure, but he was accusing Devin of setting him up or tricking him. Cameron didn't trust him, and that's something Devin has never seen before. And remember, with his tolerance, he's probably still pretty high. It could just be paranoid. Devin gasps, and Arturo stares at him, then rage and horror explodes in Devin's chest. The fucking weed! Whoa, what happened? You fucking know he has problems with on medication in college, and you just let him get stoned? Artie stares. Well, I didn't remember until just now, and besides, if that's what's making him freak out, it's gonna wear off. No, he said I was tricking him. He didn't trust me, Artie. He said I was playing fucking speakers so he heard voices. Artie continues to stare but doesn't say anything this time. Devin does his best to avoid saying what he thinks is happening. That's not just panic, that's more than just that. Fuck, man, his mom died because of this shit. What if he's wandering off in the middle of the desert right now and... When he'd researched psychosis, he came across plenty of stories just like this. The way so many of them ended. Devin feels like he's about to throw up. After a few seconds of silence, Artie clears his throat. Listen, we don't know anything yet, but if I caused this to happen, I'm sorry. Either way, I'm gonna help you find your man, okay? It's only been 5 minutes. Devin starts to calm down a bit, breathing more evenly. Like I said, my girlfriend's bipolar, and even though I know it's not exactly the same, she's at a moment like this too, and we always come out alright. So how about we look for 20, maybe 30 minutes? I'm sure we'll find him. If we don't, though, I'm gonna run my ass back up there until I get call service and call 911, alright? Devin takes a shuddering breath. Yeah, okay, let's go. Oh my god. Fuck. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Don't tell me. Oh no, 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 no. I don't like this now. There's no way, there's no way. Cameron shakes his head back and forth, unwilling to believe that Dev, his boyfriend, the person he loves most, would do this to him. But why? Devin is the one that wants to leave, that wants to protect him from this nightmarish town. How would this help at all, making up all the ghosts? Devin truly wants to understand what's happened to Lupita, where she is. Nowhere. So he'd want Cameron's visions to be true. Unless it's both. He couldn't have been involved in the vision he had by the lake, right? Or what he'd heard in the forest. Those were real. Cameron feels it deep down that they had to have been real. He couldn't have made that up or counted the forest creature, or of the girl being murdered. Maybe Devin was worried Cameron would give up if he didn't see anything and wanted to make sure by hanging himself in the closet, by creating one of the worst moments in Cameron's life. Devin would never do that, would never think to do that. As he's thinking this, something flickers at Cameron's vision. It's hard to describe, but there's a vividness to what he's seeing. And then the lighting begins to change, just like it did next to the lake. Cody stops, rigid and apprehensive, not really interested in having visions at the moment. He doesn't have a say in the matter, though. Oh, fuck this. Oh no. Oh no. This is not a vision. This is bad. This is really bad. This is the exact same coloring that happened when Chase had the dream of Sam. He didn't run it. No, fuck this. Oh, fuck this, mate. This time the lighting takes on a much. This time the lighting takes on such a surreal, ominous, blood-red glow that even though Cameron thought he was prepared, he definitely isn't. He stands in the unnatural light, feeling a bit sick. Then he realizes, but then realizes he's actually someone else, just like when he saw the girl's life end. But he seems to snap into his host and looks down at the body of a creature he can't quite make out. The person has become breathes heavily, doubled over his giant. I just noticed something. You see here? There's a hand. There's a hand and some blood. Oh my god, that's actually really subtle. That fucking freaked me out. This person has become giant. Oh no. Don't tell me. That wouldn't make sense though. Brian isn't dead. He'd never killed someone before. Okay. Oh no. Okay. So we're in Brian then. We're in Brian. Oh, okay. This little fact is okay. I don't want to. He spits on the body, then suddenly realizes he needs to get rid of it. As far as he knows, no one knows that he's here, all the way from Peyton. And if he can get rid of the body, no one will ever know he did it. He prepares himself, finding it easier and easier to come to terms with the murder. Yeah, it's Brian. It's Brian. It's Brian. The thrill he got from it, the swooping feeling in his chest, that immediately. Okay, it's a bit worrying even to him. Deep breath, he leans down, but then suddenly feels like he's being watched. Is this the fucking UFO thing? Is this when he saw the UFO? Not really UFO, but you get what I'm saying. Slowly he looks up. Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy shit. Holy shit, okay. I was just spitballing there, but oh my god. It hovers over the road, watching him. He'd seen a handful of UFOs, all of them while he was in Echo. He'd come to realize that it wasn't aliens or whatever the fuck people believed in. It was supernatural or something. Like a ghost. He suddenly thinks back to last week when that space shuttle blew up while his class watched it on TV. He'd been the only one to laugh when it happened. Not really because it was funny, but because it was so unexpected and so boring up until that point. To him, that's the only way space could be haunted with ghosts. But for some reason, he doesn't think anything living, or at least anything that was living, is involved with this. What he realized is that those crafts, made of glass, metal, and covered in lights, are empty. As far as he's concerned, they're no different from Wait a second. I need to make sure. 1, 2, 3. It's 4. I was thinking, what if it has like 8? It has like 8 lights, like a spider. I mean, it would make sense considering a recent update with Smoke Room, but whatever. Ghosts that weren't people at all. They're hollow shells, only there to feed on the sick feeling he got when seeing them. Only there to watch him so that the small amount of guilt he had might grow just a little bit bigger. And tonight, aliens would visit him, to torture him, yeah, this is Brian. Not really aliens, but the same thing as the ghosts that people see in this town. It's all the same. So he ignores it as he gets to work, and it hovers over his head even as he feels its red eyes in the back of his neck. Cameron isn't sure what to think right now. A UFO? What? Well, the shadow creature and the force have been strange. He hadn't seen it. He had only heard someone recounting it. Cameron assumed that the man in his vision was in the right mind, maybe misinterpreted what he was experiencing. But this, a full-blown craft in the sky above a dead body. Now Cameron is almost positive he's being toyed with, like Raincoat Monster in the motel room. It just makes him feel like he's going crazy, but it reminds him that, for some inexplicable reason, he thought Dev might be in on it. How did he even consider that Dev could be involved in this? Besides, even now, despite it being almost silent aside from the crunch of his footsteps on the gravel road, the voices are insistent, even louder. And how would he hide speakers out here in the middle of nowhere? Now that he's focusing on these voices, he can actually start making out some words, sentence fragments. Singing, they sang. Sins of cities are always, "You piece of shit, stop doing." Every time he catches a new voice, it fades away before it finishes what it's saying. Cameron stops so he can hear better, ears up. But the voices fade back to barely noticeable whispers on the wind. Cameron remembers those ghost hunting shows he'd watched a few times, the way they're always trying to communicate. So he clears his throat awkwardly. Hello? Are you trying to talk to me? Do you have something you'd like to say? Cameron isn't even sure he should be saying you because the voices are such a mixture of many. Why would they all congregate on this one dirt road? Either way, they seem to have moved on, so Cameron starts walking again. Something we should see. You think you're special, stupid shit. Again, Cameron stops, and so do the voices. Hello? Silence. The words don't even really make sense. If the ghosts are trying to talk to him, wouldn't they say something useful? Maybe they just don't like him. And if it's a replaying of something in the past, why are they just babbling nonsense? Cameron sighs and takes a step. You stupid! But he freezes, suddenly making a connection. He looks down at his foot, then brushes it back and forth over the gravel. Stupid sack of shit! Cameron stares. It's coming from the gravel, from the sounds of it anyway. A gentle wind trickles over the fur in his ears, and the whispers continue. What? Suddenly he's back in his trailer with his... Oh, okay. He's laying back on the couch, nodding out after snorting his pills. His mother on the other side of the trailer is kneeling amongst the trash. She'd always been meticulously clean, emphasizing that while they might live in a trailer, they can still make it look nice. But over the past years, she'd seemed to care less, and now dishes were used and never cleaned, the boxes of takeout opened and left where they were eaten. Cameron himself couldn't be bothered to tidy up. It's easier now that his mom doesn't give a fuck. He can do his drugs right in front of her now. Post-it notes and strips of fabric tied to every arch his mother spotted, even to things Cameron is pretty sure aren't arches, but made the place look like a disaster anyway. What does bother him, though, as he watches her through half-lit eyes, is the way she looks. Her fur is disheveled and sticking up in different places, and she'd been in the same clothes she's been in for a week. She started to have a strange odor about her, and Cameron felt too weird about telling his own mom she smelled bad. It's sad. He almost wishes she'd scream at him and slap him like she whenever she found his drugs. Almost. Because right now he feels so good and she seems happy enough to listen to that fan. We're really going places in this fucking thing, aren't we? We're going to some dark fucking places. Cameron covered his muzzle, heart pounding, listening to the whispering wind. No. No. His eyes blur with tears. He turns around because the worried someone might be watching him and his feet scrape the gravel. Sadness seems to always... Cameron covers his ears, feeling the now familiar rising tide of panic in his chest. He's going crazy. Just like his mother, he's losing his mind. But his mother changed over the course of months. This is so sudden. He's never heard voices before. Or has he? That hallucination of Devin hanging, that was a voice. But That could have been a dream, too. Now Cameron's breathing is really starting to get out of control, and he wants to run back to Devon and apologize, just so they can hold each other again. Of course, Devon wouldn't fuck with him over this, and Cameron can't understand why he thought that. It seemed like a possibility just 5 minutes ago, but something holds him from running back right now, and that's because if he's crazy, he doesn't want Dev to see it. Sure, he had a few nervous breakdowns and panic attacks in the first few years of their relationship, but that's normal crazy. This, this is actually crazy. It's psychotic. And while Dev would hold him, comfort him, take him away from this place, who was to say what happened after that? Behind his outgoing nature and warm smile, Dev would be doubting their relationship. He already is. Be worn down by Cameron's deteriorating mental state, his deteriorating hygiene, the deterioration of a man he once knew, as his spiral into delusions deepens. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I'm not Mom. No, but you're her son. That voice, the one that comes from inside his head, the one that doesn't feel like his inner voice, the one that won't shut the fuck up. Kevin is walking back the way he came, back towards Devon, towards where he knows is real and safe. But is he? Yes! Even though he's scared, he says it confidently, and strangely enough, he feels what seems like a pause in the voice's end, like it's not quite sure how to respond. Good. Cameron thinks, this time with his own thoughts. He makes sure to walk to the side of the road, the dusty, somewhat rocky surface preferable to the whispering gravel. Devon keeps trying to figure out how things could have gone so wrong. Ceiling zero, but an impending catastrophe. Catastrophic failure now feel fully validated. It's happened. He took those courses emphasizing engineering, ethics. He studied cases in which every step of a disaster was detailed, and exactly how each step was preventable. He took great care in his career to make sure he would never become one of those case studies. The machines he helped design were as safe as possible. And while he already thought this, it's the fact he didn't even know Cameron was on an antipsychotic at some point, just that he was on meds. He knew Cameron's problems were concerning, and he reassured himself with a crash course of abnormal psychology. While he was never as openly disdainful of his peers, the idea of trying to explain complex behavior through endless theories was frustrating, to say the least. He chalked it up to being one of those people who simply needed a solid answer and number. But he also remembers those months when Ken was on his medication, how one night he'd had Dev sit with him in the arts building on campus. It was late, and no one was around as Cameron almost angrily bashed on the keys to the grand piano, asking if any of it sounded good. Dev said it sounded fine, but indicated he finally broke down, saying he couldn't write music anymore. That, emotionally, things had become black and white, that there was a wall between him and who he was. That the medication he was taking was the reason why he fucked up his chance with the label. And as Cameron sobbed over the piano, Devon had decided that psychology doesn't know a thing about how people work. That psychiatrists might as well be drug dealers with an office. It had been the same for his mother if what happened with Lupita. Wait, his sister, I'm guessing? Even now, she struggled with her addiction to benzodiazepines, something carelessly prescribed to her so she'd stop wailing all the time. To Devon, it seemed like psychology never moved past lobotomies. Instead, they just converted into pills. And he never really changed that mindset. And it's why he never encouraged Cameron to seek some sort of help, especially if he didn't want it. What he took away from his research is that hallucinations of any kind are of serious concern and should never be brushed off. But he'd done just that with the idea that maybe there's more to hallucinations for some people than psychology will ever understand. Maybe it's ghosts. Devon wants to hit himself. In fact, he wishes the Weasel Man had had a kick in the nuts to go with the gut punch. Something else to help him remind how utterly stupid he is. The concept of the paranormal is so far from his mind at this point that he doubts he'll ever dabble in it again. See, there he is, dude. Devon looks up and sure enough he sees Cameron running towards them. The smile of relief on the coyote's face seems to break the dam of motion in Dev's chest. That wild look he'd had earlier, the one that had looked at him as if he were a stranger, is gone. The next thing he knows, he's running too. He wonders why Cam is running on the hard, rough rocks and thorny vegetation. But Devin joins him, and Cameron runs into his chest with a thump. I'm so sorry. I don't know what the hell I was. Stop. You're fine. That's all I care about. You're fine. I don't know if I am. You are. You're here, and you're fine, and we're gonna go home, okay? Yeah. Careful. Devin rocking them back and forth on the even rocky ground sends them to the dirt, but Devin just pulls Cameron into his lap, still hugging him tightly. Meanwhile, Artie's looking away, seeming to spot something very interesting in the miniature forest just off the road, though he's smiling. I'm so sorry for bringing you here. I don't know what else to say. I'm just sorry. No, it's my fault for thinking I was special, or that I had superpowers or something. None of this is your fault, okay? Cameron stays quiet and Devin is content to just hold the coyote, both of them sniffling. Meanwhile, the coyote plucks its sagebrush it's rubbing up against them, which he holds to his nose. You know how I hate the desert? Devin tries to adjust himself to the jarring shift in conversation but goes along with it, assuming Cameron just wants to focus on other things for now. I'm starting to hate it too, actually. Cameron inhales the sprig of sagebrush in his paw again. Well, I love the smell of sagebrush, the way the whole desert smells like it. I suppose it's alright. There's something about it that reminds me of Christmas. That's weird, coming from someone who grew up surrounded by pine forests. Like when we went up to my dad's cabin, now that's a smell I can get behind. I guess I just got too used to it. Sagebrush is different. Desert version of pine forests. Pines can grow in the desert. Then I mean the ones in the Northwest. We should go to your dad's cabin again. That was fun. No, really? I thought you didn't like it. In all honesty, Dev hadn't either. He had meant to take Cameron ice fishing like his father had taken him so many times. The second they got there, though, he realized how woeful underprepared he was. I complain too much, but we should go in the summer so we don't have to dig through 4 feet of snow just to open the cabin. Devin almost laughed at the memory of being so exhausted. By the time he opened the cabin, that his plans to romantically make love to Cameron went out the window the second they got in bed. Yeah, let's talk about it when we get back. I just want to be somewhere with you away from this. Yeah, far away from this. Dev, I don't think I'm actually a psychic. I hallucinated a UFO a little bit ago. That's not real. Oh, you just saw one? Well, in my mind, I was someone else. I saw a dead body and I saw a spacecraft in the sky. It didn't make sense. I see. Well, you won't have to worry about that anymore once we're out of here. I really, really hope we won't. Dev's not going to ask him to elaborate or tell him that UFOs are commonly reported in Echo, especially in times when supernatural activity is at its peak. While he wants to convince Cameron he's not mentally ill, he knows that that's not what he should be doing right now. Even though he wants to deny it, he doesn't know if it's true or not. He believes Cameron is psychic, but that's taking a back seat to the possibility that something else is happening too, and Dev can't be the one to figure that out for Cameron. He'll only be there to support him. Oh shit, I think Artie's in the forest. Nah? Sure enough, Artie's disappeared. Oh yeah, well, he'll be alright. We'll just call it for him. Not really a big forest anyway. Dev, that's where the shotgun guy is. Oh, fuck, I forgot. Dev stares at the tree line, hopefully. Dev, we have to get him. Well, he shouldn't be far in at all. Anyway, we can warn him real quick, but let's keep our voices down. They get up and move toward the forest. Dev wants to tell Cameron to wait in the road, but at the same time, he's worried about losing him again right after finding him. My fucking god. We're back here again. We're back near Brian. Fucking hell. Somehow this seemingly innocuous patch of trees is even more ominous during the day. Artie? Dev whispers loudly into the trees, holding Cameron's paw as they descend into the ditch and over onto the forest side. They only take a few steps into the tree before Artie calls back. Yo, just taking a whiz. Figured you guys wouldn't want me stare. Dude, shut up! Dev continues to shout whisper. What's up? Dev can see Moon from Artie now, some of the bushes about 10 feet ahead of them shifting. This is where that shotgun hick yelled at us. Oh, well, I'm almost done anyway. Dev sighs and knows Cameron with his ears low, looking anxious. You alright, baby? Do you hear, like, radio static? It's really loud. Dev listens but only hears wind through the trees. I think it's the leaves, honey. But then there is something. Maybe what could be described as static. Oh, what the fuck? Actually, Jesus! He jumps his phone notification sound goes off. Well, I definitely heard that. I do think there's the wind, but I'm hearing it too. He takes his phone out, seeing an email managed to get through. Important booking information. Due to the ongoing public health emergency, all reservations have been canceled. We sincerely apologize. Notification banner cuts off there, and the surreal message makes Devin feel like they're isolated from the world now more than ever. He wonders if he tried to call the police, even though he still only has one bar. At this point, he's willing to just let the authorities know that they're stranded before anything else can happen. Then something out of the corner of his eye catches his attention. It looks like the wall of a structure of some kind. Beige and peeling, hard to see through all the leaves and branches. Devin holds up a paw in front of Cameron, signaling for him to stay put before taking a few cautious steps further into the forest. He thinks it's a trailer. No. No, 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 no. I don't fucking I don't want to do this. I don't need more nightmares. I don't need more nightmares over this fucker. He thinks it's a trailer, one that looks so run down that he wouldn't be surprised if it's abandoned. What unsettles him is that it's buried so deep behind the trees, it's like it's meant to be hidden. He can try to make a call further down the road away from whatever that is. I'm here, no need to check on me. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna try to make a call on the road. We're going straight. The look on Artie's face makes the bear pause. What? What? What the fuck? His voice is quiet, but his tone is of confusion and shock, staring over Dev's shoulder. Dev feels dread creep over. Was that there? Was that always there? Am I just making things up? Was that always there? This fucking thing? Dev feels dread creep over him, not sure how something else could be happening right now. Something so terrible and already is that look. Um, why is this a CG? Why is this a CG? Cameron stands where he left him. Oddly enough, he doesn't even seem to be paying attention to them. He's staring up towards the trees, and Devon can see his eyes darting from left to right. His ears are laying back and twitching, like he's hearing something that's too loud. His breathing is heavy, and Devon can see his chest heaving. He's panicking now, but the reason for it is clear. About a single second is all Dev has to see it. Okay, and to hear it. No, 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 no. Okay. Is that supposed to be it? Is that what I'm seeing? I don't know. I'm in trouble. Cameron is suffocating. Just moments ago, being grasping breath, feeling the invisible dread creep his back, the deafening static growing in his ears. Now it's completely black, and something has its limbs around him, fingers over his mouth and nostrils. He thrashes around, or at least he tries to. He goes through the motions, but there's no sensation of movement. A strained inhale of air drones right next to his ear, the thing pressing its head to the side of his face. Cameron begs it to let go, tries to call for help. Devin was in front of him only seconds ago. Minutes? The voice in his head returns. Or hours? Or has it been years? It doesn't matter when you're dead. Cameron does think that he's died, and that he's in hell because of course he'd ended up there. There is no hell. This is death. This is what happens to everyone, Cameron. Cameron realizes that then it's not the thing holding on to him speaking to him. Because now is when it starts to speak, but it's not a voice he expects. No! Okay, I don't know what fucking voice to give this fucker. No! Get away! Oh, it's a woman. Okay, a woman's voice. Stupid fucking cunt! Cheating whore! Oh. Okay. A man's. Okay. The tone of the static changes, and Cameron knows he's listening to something different, a different moment. He's dead, you can stop now? Nah, he's still twitching. And it continues. What sounds like someone screaming through a gag. A woman sobbing, a man begging. But then there's a shift, and though most of the voices were women, they become almost exclusively young men. If you'll let me go, I won't tell anyone, I swear to God. No me me poor okay. Stop, just stop! And then the voices blend together and go on and on and on. Meanwhile, Cameron goes limp, giving up, feeling as one with the voice that comes next. Why don't you just kill me? What? Fucking hell. Devin watches as Cameron's body just goes limp, and though he tries to leap forward and catch him, the coyote slips to the ground at his feet. Embarrassingly picks him up or tries to, with something he does many times before. He's never done it with Cameron while Cameron was so completely lifeless, and he shrugged with the coyote's dead weight. Cameron! He lays the coyote out on his back, hoping he just wakes up. What the fuck was that, dude? Dude, what the fuck was that thing? Whatever it was just seemed to absorb into Cameron and disappear in an instant. Devin doesn't care. 2 days ago, he would have thought he'd give almost anything to see something like that. Now, it doesn't seem to matter at all. Cameron's chest heaving seconds ago isn't moving at all now. Fuck, Artie, he's not breathing, man. What do we do? Holy shit. Maybe chest compressions, right? The panic is starting to overwhelm the bear's peripheral vision, dimming, going dark, and his wrist upon his Cameron's head to steady himself. He can't pass out right now, otherwise Cameron would only have Artie to help him, and the cat is seemingly frozen, his fingers twist into his head fur. Why is this even happening? Why would he just stop breathing? Evan tries to tilt Cameron's head back, straighten his torso so he can breathe. Come on, breathe, Cam, just breathe, please! Devin rubs at Cameron's chest. It's such a desperate, useless gesture. Do you know how to do CPR? No! Kev raised himself, wishing he could remember a single useful thing from the one day he learned CPR in high school. All he remembers is tearing with his classmates up with a female mannequin's chest. Now they had to touch it. His vision blurs as he uselessly places his paws, one over the other on Cameron's chest, and then a droning, ragged wheeze comes from the coyote's mouth. Oh my God, Cam! With a labored wheeze. He's breathing, right? That's right, Cam. Keep going, baby. He is, but he's still strained like something heavy is on his chest. Not sure what else to do. Cameron pulls Cameron into a sitting position, leaning the coyote against his body, and Cameron gasps. Oh, thank fucking God. Just keep breathing like that, honey. Yes! Even Artie is crying, wiping his eyes as he laughs. But what attacked him? You saw that thing, right? Or am I just crazy? Evan shakes his head. I don't know what it was. I don't know. Now Devin just needs Cameron to gain consciousness so he can know he's okay for sure. Never had he seen evidence of or believed that the supernatural could physically harm the living. Let's get out of this forest, dude, in case he comes back. Yeah, alright. He's very careful that he moves Cameron, terrified that his breathing might stop again. As he stands up, cradling Cameron in his arms, he looks up. Standing 20 feet away towards the snow. No! It's another bear. He's holding a shotgun. No. No, 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 no. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Okay, that was update 4 of Arches, guys. I hope you enjoyed that in whatever fashion you can enjoy this fucking game. Fucking hell. That was a lot that happened in this update, and I can't really give my thoughts on it right now because I'm overwhelmed with my fucking emotions. So I'm just gonna fucking end the video. See you next time, fuckers, I guess. I hope you're okay and all and whatever else. Have a good day. Fuck